Hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Well, it's December 27th, and with just a few more days left in the year, I'm just kind of, like I say, very contemplative these days. Just not thinking about resolutions or the big changes, but just kind of thinking about the progression. Where do I progress in 2017? What's going to happen in 2017? What do I want to work on in 2017? What is my intention as I move forward in life? Um, I was chatting on Messenger last night with a really good friend of mine. One of the people that I actually talked to, there's only very few people, and some of them I've never actually met before, but there's a few people that I talk to via social media and stuff that I actually can talk to, and other than just polite conversation and the usual platitudes, this and that. And that's part of my process. A lot of times, late at night, if I get into talking to somebody else and I'm messaging with them, I just kind of start free flowing, and it kind of takes off from there, and it kind of gets a life of its own. And it kind of it might be a little. I'm thinking more of me than the person I'm conversing with, but it becomes a little bit more just of me free flowing and putting my process out there, and less about communicating to the other person. It's just about physically writing it down or getting it out. So after I went on and on and on for a while on this long-winded thing, I went back and I copied and pasted it all, and I put it into a document, because I realized that just in the course of this little conversation that I was really laying out where I want things to go. I was really laying out my intention and where I want my future to be. So I wrote it down, and I'm just going to kind of read this, and I'll talk about a little bit as I go. I started talking about, about how things are different up here, and like having the heating and all the being inside and being away from my fruit and being away from other things. So I started out by saying, look, I need to be in my element. I'm mega serious and somewhat selfish when it comes to my personal wellness, to the point of setting up my whole life based around it. Now, you got to understand, I'm free to do that. So I don't need to compromise within reason. And a lot of the stuff I'm laying out here is not some pie in the sky dream, because it's not like people that have dreams. I want a $500,000 house or something that's going to cost a lot of money. To get started or to kind of get to the next phase is not that far-fetched. So let me continue. I was talking about, no way could I live here where I am right now and be more than 70% of what I am back home. I need to breathe. Fresh air, not circulated air. The air has become very important to me. I've just realized that how much in the last 5 months. I had lived at the beach, not bad air quality. I had my door open a good bit of the day, but I lived in a little neighborhood, and there was constant mowing and things getting kicked up and what have you. And it wasn't as good as the air where I've been up in the mountains. And plus, I'm outside more, and I have the door open more, and I'm not using AC at all up in the mountains. So being here for just like almost 2 weeks now, I've noticed the difference. I've noticed the difference when I'm not out, or I'm not taking in a lot of fresh air all day long. I mean, I get out and I make a point to walk around in the yard, but it's different just getting out an hour or two a day as opposed to being in that all the time. And, like I say, I just kind of kept progressing from there. And I was thinking about this journey I've been on, and I'm moving forward steadily. Not fast, but steadily, always evolving. And it's what guides all my plans for the future. I don't have a choice anymore. Like, this thing has not become just some little side thing I do. Like I say, I take my personal wellness very seriously, and being free, not being married, not having children, not having a lot of possessions, I can pursue that. Okay, and I went on further telling her I'm not sure where, but I need to stay in the mountains. After being there for this past 5 months, I like the climate. That is what I like. I thrive there. I don't want to live with AC. I don't want to live with heat. Another requirement, I have to be close and have access to lots of fruit. Now, for right now, that narrows it down to just a couple of places in Costa Rica that I know of or that I'm really interested in. I'm sure there's a number of places, and there's a number of places with tropical fruit, but once again, I'm creating Mecca. I'm creating my little Zion, my Eden, whatever you want to call it, my little slice of perfection where everything is clicking. Not just the food, not just the food. You know, that's why maybe I have a different slant on this whole thing than a lot of people, and I can be a little bit and I can be a little bit I can be a little asshole sometimes or a little cynical, like when these purists that are living in God-forsaken places taking toxins in every day try to preach to you about purity. I'm like, cuz I live in purity. You know, just maybe you do have to be freaky and obsessed about the raw and never doing anything else because you're living in a place where you're taking in toxins every day. You're not breathing fresh air. You're not getting real vitamin D. So, hey, fair enough. But me, no, I know it's way more than just about this raw vegan food. Way more than that. The number one choice of where I would like to live, and you can kind of see that area and kind of pick up the essence of there, is where I rented that cabin last year. Now, if you haven't, you know, depending on how long you've been watching this channel, you may have never heard me talk about that. So it's, if you want to go back and check that out, that was September of 2015. So just go back, or you can actually search Tinamaste, Tinamaste. And that is down in that area. I was at about the same altitude where I am now, about 3,000, 3,500 feet. Cold at night, or chilly under the covers, you know, probably 58, 59 to 62. Nice during the day, not humid. 10 minutes from the beach, 15 minutes from the beach, you get in your car and you're there. There's plenty of vitamin D there. And in this area, that's where there's a lot of sustainable communities there. That's where the people are going to. That's where things are happening. I've been following a couple of projects. I've made a few new friends on Facebook that are doing some amazing things down there with permaculture. They're combining. They're doing the vegan. Some of this just amazing next level food with with food they have grown in a manner of permaculture on their property. So it's pretty cool down there. So when I get down to that spot, that game ups even more because now now I have the fresh air. Now I'm eating raw. I have access to a lot of fruit, but I would be mostly organic down there. If I move down there, and like I say, I'm not saying this will necessarily be the next move. It might take a couple of steps. I need a little bit more money to get down there, so I'm working on a couple of angles. But yeah, that's like, you know, the best of the best food down there. The soil the minerals are crazy in that soil down there. Some of the stuff I ate, just spectacular. The air quality, like I say, the air quality down there is just as good too. The next thing would be to find a pure source of water, a really good source of water. I mean, I kind of half-ass it. I've got like the Brita pitchers with a filter, and nobody needs to go into their next level filtration methods. I'm looking for the source, and I will deal with what I got until I find the source. Once again, I live in a different place, so I don't have to like jump around and be all sketchy about every little detail. And then the vitamin D, you know, being in a place where there's plenty of vitamin D. I realize when I'm here and I haven't been able to get much vitamin D over the last 3 or 4 weeks that I was in Costa Rica, mega important. You know, have to have that coming in all the time. So one last little thing and I'll wrap it up here. Then the last thing to add would be, you know, kind of like fill it pieces to the puzzle. I've got a few people in mind that I'm connected with online right now that might be suitable to come down and, you know, I'm looking at a couple of places down there that might be a rental of a big property. And let's just say the next pieces would be a couple of people, key people, you know, maybe people that are very, maybe a yoga teacher. Maybe if my friend ends up staying longer, body work people. The body work and deep into the yoga is also a big part, is what I'm saying, is the next progression I want to go to. But I want it clicking on all levels. I don't want to be a one-trick pony. So I'm also hoping too that I'm going to be opening up this channel and talking about more subjects than just raw vegan, raw vegan, raw vegan every day. You know, get the food down. That's why I'm always preaching to try to get this thing, work through your transition, figure out the food thing so you can move on. If you're going to be stuck and mired in the food thing for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you're missing out on a lot of other important work that needs to be done to really get to a next level of wellness. So anyhow, just my 2 cents worth and just kind of setting my intent for the year more than anything else. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If y'all like it, please give me a thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. When you hit the subscribe button, also there'll be a little bell next to it. Click on that bell and hit send notifications. I understand that that's helping to prevent losing the subs on the channel, but we'll see. Anyhow, hope y'all have a great day. Peace.